You have proved that you fight well. Now you can join us.
Keep cuts. Wake up, check your phone. Ignore the alarm. You're still alone. Wake up, rewind the night. Who are you? But also kind of who am I? Wake up, check your phone. Pre-party for the apocalypse.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of FINADULTING. My name is Lorena.
And my name is Crystal.
Hi, Crystal.
Hi, Lynch. How you doing?
Hello. Hey, Crystal.
Yes.
What does fatal dancing, men fearing losing their genital organs, and attacks on women's big asses have in common?
I don't know. What, buddy?
Bizarre cases of mass hysteria.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh.
That is what we're going to be talking about today in our Mindfuck Monday episode for the month. It'll be our bizarre, just mass hysteria episodes that have happened throughout the history, and we've had a few,
We have.
recently too. I just want to go ahead and let you guys know before we even start. I just want to mention, as I mentioned before, then now you can actually find us on numerous podcast platforms like Spotify,
Oh, hell yeah.
Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, and many more.
Woo.
As well, we are continuing doing our regular video podcasts on YouTube. So we'll do our episodes there on YouTube. And as always, we're named F in Adulting, and it's FIN Adulting. We're everywhere. Every platform, pretty much. Facebook. We're on TikTok. We're on Instagram. So you can find us F in Adulting.
That's
Okay.
FIN Adulting.
Exactly.
Yes.
So how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, and you?
I'm doing good.
That's
I
good,
feel
buddy.
like very
what?
very springy.
Ooh.
Very floral,
It looks really nice. I was going to say I like your shirt.
You guys that are not watching, I'm wearing a cute little, I don't know what it is.
Floral.
I think it's just a blouse. I don't know what brand it is, but
it's cute. It's super cute, guys.
I got it at TJ Maxx. I think it was probably $30, but it was such a cute find,
It is cute.
So I was like, I need to have it because I need to dress a little bit more my age. I keep wearing these t-shirts and things like
tube
I wear most of the time I'm wearing my man's clothes.
That's cool.
Yes,
it's cool, right?
I don't do much. I haven't been doing much. Obviously, since I'm going to be in real estate, I need to dress up very real estatey,
Yeah. No, I know.
I can't get away with wearing my man's t-shirts all the time. So yeah, I felt like dressing up today.
Look really good.
From the waist up.
And that's how we are.
Okay.
I'm sure we're both wearing sweatpants and just.
Or am I wearing slacks? You'll never know.
Let's see.
I don't
stand up. Stand up a little bit. See what you're wearing.
No,
that's what's. You're not gonna show your best friend.
No, that's where the mystery lies. Just you'll never know.
What lies beneath? You remember that movie?
Exactly. What lies beneath? What is what I'm not wearing?
Everybody, let's take a quiz for all those who.
Press 1 for the people who think she's wearing sweats. Press 2.
And 2 for slacks.
And 3 for nothing.
And 3 mystery.
Mystery. Oh my God! So I wanted to tell you something really bizarre and very awful is going around TikTok.
Oh yes. So
Did you hear about that?
I've been hearing that they apparently want to make it a rape day or something like that on the 24th.
Yes, I heard that April 24th, which would be the day, tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow?
The 23rd. Today is April 23rd. So tomorrow apparently they're making the National Rape Day,
Which is
meaning
stupid.
that they can go around raping girls. Not that they can. I don't know who the fuck created this shit or who like went along with it.
As a joke, maybe somebody started it and then
It's just really sad though because teenagers are the ones that are mostly on TikTok, and they're very like
gullible.
gullible. They're very
Yeah.
influenced, and it sucks because they can get encouraged by these stupid people that are
Things that are going
posting that
around.
are
Yes,
saying, you know what I mean? And maybe I mean obviously I don't want to be a part of putting it out there because it's bizarre. It's fucking dumb. But at the same time, you just want to be careful any day,
most definitely.
any
Any
day.
day, yeah.
Just be like cautious and careful as a woman or just a man, like anybody. There's really horrible things happening. So,
Hopefully, like nothing happens. You know what I mean? Like I'm really hoping that nobody does anything as stupid as to like follow through with that whole
well, it's been going
rape
viral,
thing.
viral. So, I'm hoping the police and
Maybe they
they
have some extra people out there,
they'll be like cruising around and checking and just be
making
more
sure.
yeah.
Hopefully.
So yeah, that I didn't want to bring it up, but and I was gonna bring up the whole Tide Pods thing where it's like, if they're that dumb to be eating Tide Pods or
Hey, that's not exactly what I was
that's
gonna
why I'm
say.
like,
If they're that dumb
that's
to
the
do that.
scary part.
And I don't know if you ever saw the one where they were boiling water and they were like throwing it on each other, like that was
It's
something
so dumb.
stupid, and people were actually doing that too.
And
And
that's why I'm like, that's the scary part for me because I'm like, fuck, these little kids are watching TikToks, like they're on TikTok all the time.
yeah, and
And
then
they're getting these stupid ideas from people that are just fucking I'm pretty sure they're just fucking making up shit and so they can get into someone's head, and
it's stupid
it's
though.
stupid.
Like I hope people realize how stupid that is, and I don't want to
I know.
wake up tomorrow or the day after and be like, oh shit happened,
And
and
hear
like
stupid shit happening.
yeah, like stupid.
On Tuesday, I believe it was the 20th. Yeah.
420.
I love weed. I smoke weed every second of every day.
Hey, I am your stoner.
20.
Oh yeah. Well, Tuesday, 420. I was gonna mention something else, but yeah, 420.
But yeah, let's not forget our 420. And you know what? I actually found out that I don't know if I mentioned it last episode, but New Mexico's actually just got the law that they're gonna do recreational marijuana use. So that's
No
something
way.
else. Yeah.
So they legalized it?
Yeah, for next year they should start selling it just recreationally,
Oh,
which
that's
is
nice.
something that I maybe want to think about moving over
I'm
there, you know what
moving.
I mean?
Damn
Moving
it.
over
So
there and
my hope of getting you to San Antonio is like far gone now. It's like, fuck you, bitch. I'm going to
I
Arizona
let's see what happens, this next few years. I mean, hopefully
or
Texas.
New Mexico. You said Arizona. I'm like,
Yeah, no, New
Mexico.
Mexico, yeah.
Yeah.
So like it's right around the corner, dude. Like,
Dude, it is. It's
but
super near. Like,
and
they
like
like,
I was looking at some like terrenos that they have over there. My mom's like, now you're really gonna want to go to Chaparral. You know what I mean? Like it's New
dude,
Mexico.
for
I
real.
was like, and I'd be getting that shit medicated for free. Like my insurance would pay for it. So
Lucky you. Well, you have it all planned out. Then we're
I've
gonna have to
been
be
thinking
doing.
about
We're
this.
gonna have to be doing this fucking podcast through Zoom all the time.
I
This
mean,
is
we
gonna
always I'm gonna be
this is gonna be a Zoom fucking podcast forever. That's it, you guys. I lost Crystal. That is it. My
no, not
hope for
even.
bringing her over here to San Antonio is gone. I cannot compete
No,
with Mary Jane.
I'm still like actually thinking about it. I was, how my new job started or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, Mary Jane is everywhere. You know what I mean?
Well,
Honestly,
yeah, but I mean,
but
legalized for
my
recreational
God,
use.
I
I
know
mean, come on, I can't compete with that.
she's kind of she has my heart.
I know that she
Right.
does. That
No, but I
bitch.
mean, I don't know. They have like job openings over there in San Antonio. we had a meeting
Mhm.
where they were saying hi to all the new hires,
Oh my God, you can work
and there
with
was
the
some
people
in
I
San
used to work
Antonio.
with.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. There was we had a guest speaker from
Mhm.
San Antonio, and they were saying that how they also had job openings and they hired people for the same
Yeah.
thing that I got hired for. So I was like, maybe.
Well, dude, I did the same thing here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
Maybe
you would
who
work
was
with the people that I used to work with.
who
And
was
you
the
would
vice?
love my supervisor. If you
Who
would get
was it?
her, you would love her, Sylvia. She's a beautiful person, dude. Physically and, just herself. She's a fucking awesome
And
lady. You would love
that's
her.
cool.
So imagine you would move here and you would get Sylvia. You know, my dream job.
I'd be
I'm
like,
just kidding.
Sylvia. Oh, yeah. Do you remember
Oh,
Lorena? She's my BFF.
aw,
She's a
she would.
weirdo. Oh,
She would
yeah.
remember me.
She probably
Um,
would.
she would. She better. Sylvia, you better.
You better, Sylvia, if you're watching.
um, so yeah, I was gonna say
Sorry.
about Derek Chauvin, the guy, the officer.
Oh, yeah. The one with the whole.
Yeah. So the news this week, April 20th, jury finds former police officer Derek Chauvin guilty of murder and manslaughter in the death of George Floyd, found guilty on all three counts in George Floyd's death.
That's good. They're
I
finally doing
know.
something about it.
Convicted of second and third degree murder as well as second degree manslaughter, Chauvin stood up quickly after the judge ordered his bail revoked and compliantly placed his hands to be handcuffed before he was let out of the courtroom. He faces up to 75 years in prison when he returns for sentencing in 8 weeks. Second degree murder carries a maximum sentence of 40 years. Wow. Third degree murder carries a
Whoa.
maximum sentence of 25 years, and second degree manslaughter is punishable up to 10 years. Wow.
That's crazy. Like, I think thinking about all this, like, there's so many things that you get in trouble for, and they give you like 10 years for it, and I just feel like
Hmm.
they should give them more. I am all mean, but
Dude, if they
I mean,
okay,
honestly,
that would be 75, 40. That's what, 110? 115 years. That's
that is
25,
that will be just life imprisonment.
135. Well, yeah, life in prison,
Yeah,
if they do give them all that, the maximum. Wow.
it's pretty
But I
crazy.
mean,
But honestly, like, this is what everybody wanted. You know what I mean? Like, some
and everybody was celebrating. And I mean, come on. He,
kind of closure for the
he
family, and
did basically murder him.
yeah, he did. Yes.
So
So
it's a victory for the family, for
for the
everybody who
family,
was,
for everybody who felt,
yeah,
it was some kind of like
yeah. And it is some kind of justice.
it
But I
is.
mean, it's sad because there's so many other ones that have been happening recently.
Yeah, like that little boy who I
The
think he was a
little
13-year-old
boy,
boy.
13-year-old little boy,
He had nothing in
who
his hands.
he did have a gun though,
Well,
but
yeah,
he dropped it before they even said anything. He had already dropped it, and they still killed him.
yeah, I saw the video where they're like, put your hands up, and he put his hands up,
Pero
and he
ya
had
no tenía
nothing. Ya
nada.
no
He had
tenía nada, and
nothing.
they shot
I don't know
him.
if he have a gun, because I think I
No,
saw something. He said he dropped it,
no,
or
he
he
didn't
didn't have
have
a gun
it
at all.
in his hand. No, he didn't have anything.
Oh wow. Well, we would need to look into
That's what
that
they were
one.
saying. They were actually saying that he did have that. That's what they were saying, that he
Well,
had a
yeah,
weapon.
I think I
But
saw the video, and
when you see the video, like,
mhm.
it's so fast. Like, he's there and he tells him to turn around, put his hands up, and when he goes like that, he gets shot, and you see
That's
his
what
hands.
fucking gets on my nerves, because I'm always questioning this. Like, why don't they just disable them? Like, hey, if you don't want to run anymore, fucking shoot him in the leg. He won't be able to run.
Exactly. Or like
Why do
even
you have to
shoot.
shoot
Why
to
do you have to?
kill? Like,
I don't.
why there? Like, in the head or in the fucking heart or
Isn't that
somewhere
one of the
like
laws
very.
that they have though? That if you have a gun, you have to shoot to kill.
But
Because
that's
I
insane. I
went to
don't.
the shooting range, and that's what they told
Yeah.
me. If I ever get a gun, that you have to shoot a person to kill them. Like it's shoot. you gotta shoot to kill. If not, they could come back and sue you for shooting them in
Really?
the leg. Or yeah, dude, yes.
That's insane. That's like that. I don't know if you've seen Liar Liar, where
Yeah,
the old lady
that's one of
tells
my
the
favorite
guy,
movies.
where the old lady, the secretary tells Jim Carrey that her
How
best
was
friend or
it?
her
What?
friend had a robber go
Oh
into her house,
yes.
and then she shot him or something,
No,
and
he fell
or
on
he
her
fell,
counter
and then
and he
he
cut
sued
himself.
her
Yeah, he ended up suing the lady for
and won. And then this
yeah.
fucker's like, "Well, I forgot what his
I
response was,
forgot
but it
too,
was
but it
so
was
funny because
stupid.
um, that's insane though." Anyway, so
It
yeah,
is.
he we got a little justice there at least, you know.
At least that way,
Um,
like cops will know that it's not gonna go.
they're not gonna be
What is it like
like,
unseen, or they're
uh
gonna be able to get
huh,
away with it? You know what I mean? Like
like that
that's
fucking
a
other
step up.
cop with the young man that was driving, or
Which
they stopped
one?
him or something, and she shot him, and then she said that she thought it was a taser, and she was tasing him. But then she had been on the well, she had been an officer for 25 years. So people were like, "How the fuck do you confuse a taser
Because
and the
it's not as
gun?"
heavy as the gun.
It's not as heavy as a gun. Plus, they're like on two
I think
different
I heard
sides, like
about that.
opposite sides, you know?
Yeah, like
So, I mean, it's just bullshit, you know? A lot of the things that they come
I
up
would
with.
honestly be using my taser a lot more. Like you
Well,
don't
why
really.
else do you have a taser if you're not gonna use it and you're gonna go right away like with the fucking gun, you know?
Isn't that the first thing you would think of using though? Like I would if I were a cop.
A
Like I'm
taser,
saving
yeah.
a life. I'm not killing anyone,
I
and I'll
know.
taser you, and you're on the ground, and that's it.
I
And guess
know.
what? We both live to talk about it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you were being an idiot, and I tasered you. Simple as that.
Right?
But
That'll go away,
but no,
but
they want to fucking take out a gun and shit and fucking start shooting people. Like, I
it's
also
crazy.
get that some of the cops might be scared, but
Well,
this is
yeah.
something you practice for. You know what I mean? You practice for this kind of stuff. It happens every day. I'm sure you're gonna get someone who's not gonna want to get arrested, who's gonna want to run, or who's gonna want to. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it is scary, but this is something that they have to go through, and like I'm sure they have to have some kind of training
Yeah.
for it. And like I don't know, like if you can't do it, then don't do it.
So this month's Mindfuck Mondays episode, mass hysteria articles are from the Historic Mysteries, written by Doug McGowan. Sorry, sorry, Doug. And medicalnewstoday.com, written by Marie Kohut, PhD, and fact checked by Jasmine Collier. So just so you guys know, what do you think hysteria is, Crystal? Mhm.
Hysteria? Maybe like something,
Hysteria.
I don't know, like I don't know. I guess I don't know what it means, but if had to take a guess, it would be like something in history that was crazy. But
Yeah. So, what
I
is
don't know.
hysteria? Also known as collective obsessional behavior.
Oh wow.
Specialists who have taken an interest in this phenomenon say that it is a type of psychogenetic illness, that is a condition that begins in the mind rather than in the body. Psychological symptoms, however, are often not illusory, but very much real. Mass hysteria is also described as a conversion disorder in which a person has psychological symptoms affecting the nervous system in the absence of a physical cause of illness, and which may appear in reaction to psychological distress. Because mass hysteria or collective obsessional behavior can take so many different forms, it is very difficult to provide a clear definition for it or to characterize it with confidence. Professor Simon Wesley from King's College London in the United Kingdom also notes that mass hysteria has been used to describe such a wide variety of crazes, panics, and abnormal group beliefs that defining it is particularly tricky. Still, he suggests that In characterizing a phenomenon as an instance of mass hysteria, we should aim to guide ourselves by 5 principles. Which are those, Crystal?
Let's see. Well, the first one would be that it is an outbreak of abnormal illness behavior that cannot be explained by physical disease. Number two, that it affects people who would not normally behave in this fashion. Number three, that it excludes symptoms deliberately provoked in groups gathered for that purpose, such as when people intentionally gathers a group of people and convinces them that they are collectively experiencing a psychological or physiological symptom. And let's see, number four, that it excludes collective manifestations used to obtain a state of satisfaction unavailable singly, such as fads, crazes, and riots. And finally, number five, that the link between the individuals experiencing collective obsessional behavior must not be coincidental, meaning, for instance, that they are all part of the same close knit community. The term hysteria is an indicator of the erroneous myth surrounding the cause of nature of the phenomena. Hysteria, a Greek word meaning uterus, that's weird, is at the root of term hysteria. Ancient Greek physicians believed that hysteria only affected women and was caused by a variety of problems with the womb. That's crazy.
Insane.
Why the
It's like
fuck?
academia recognized that the roots of the word hysteria were offensive to women and stalled the progress of psychology as a science. They reached down to the Victorian era of sexual suppression and ridiculous ideas from the functions of a uterus. The word itself had to be removed, and it has. That's good.
That is good.
That's insane, especially because there's been hysteria, like mass hysteria with women and men. So I don't know why. And I'm about to explain that. Clearly, the idea of hysteria afflicts only women is ludicrous. Across the world, men have experienced a frightening type of mass hysteria called kodo, or genital shrinkage anxiety. In this situation, multiple men believe their penises are retracting or disappearing altogether.
What the fuck?
I'm sorry.
It's
In
okay.
1976, 350 men in Thailand believed they were experiencing kodo as a result of Vietnamese food or tobacco poisoning. Then, once again, a hysteria epidemic struck in South India in 2010 when 100 men from 3 labor camps believed they were experiencing kodo. However, perhaps the worst case came from China in 1984 through 1985 from 3,000 men who reported their panic in 16 different regions.
That's intense. That's when I was born, 1984.
I know.
I
And there's
don't.
even like more recent, like 2000s.
No way.
Mass
That's
hysteria.
crazy.
We'll get into those later. Read the first one, which is the dancing one.
Yeah,
Dancing hysteria, mass hysteria. That's insane.
that's
I mean, it
crazy.
sounds fine, but I mean, imagine how tiring that would be.
That'd be crazy.
It'd be like
Woo!
but dancing for like a good amount of time. Because I remember when I was young, I could dance
I mean,
forever.
me
I mean, like
too.
at like quinceañeras, and I'm like, oh my god, I was like, you would say there was a quinceañera, I was there. I don't know
I'm
the
there,
time.
and you're all
I'm
dancing.
there. I was like crashing quinceañeras here and there.
Hmm.
I don't even care if you know the people. You're just there to dance.
Having a good time. Yeah.
So tell us about that craze that was going on, or
Perhaps the most infamous case of mass hysteria occurred in Strasbourg, France, in the summer of 1518. It started with one woman dancing in the streets for no apparent reason. Nobody could stop her. Indeed, many of her neighbors joined her instead.
isn't it called
By
that movie, the one with
oh,
dancing?
Footloose?
Isn't that Footloose? Are you just looking at Footloose?
It might be going, and it was maybe in the
Footloose.
1518s. That's a good movie.
That is.
Let's see here. So apparently they couldn't stop her, but instead of like neighbors, I guess, stopping her, they just joined. So by a month's time,
It is
approximately,
footnotes.
shut the fuck up. So by a month's time, approximately 400 villagers were also dancing in what became known as the dancing plague. Some dances
No.
suffered no ill effects, however, others died from causes such as exhaustion and heart failure. Damn. A number of political and medical records of the time document the phenomena thoroughly. Once again, the strange behaviors ended as mysteriously as they had begun. Isn't that weird?
What the hell?
Like you actually died because you were exhausted.
But imagine how
And
happy
like,
you died.
no, do you think so? Like, if you can't stop dancing, like that shit would probably be
So
like,
you'd be like
oh
dancing
my god,
nervously, like, I want to stop. I can't.
crying.
Can't stop. My body won't let
You
me.
can stop.
You
She's
just
my wife.
imagine Jennifer Beals doing her famous scene going like this, like,
Ooh, I'm gonna watch that movie tonight.
like that.
Mm,
And
mm,
she's like
mm.
in like her nervous face instead of enjoying it. She's like, I can't stop. I can't stop. I want to stop.
She's
My heart's gonna
cute.
explode. In a Tanzanian girls' school in January of 1962, a suspected episode of mass hysteria baffled school officials and medical experts. While in school, three girls started to laugh for no apparent reason. So that's us.
That is us. This
While
happens
in
all the time.
school, yeah. While in school, three girls started to laugh for no apparent reason. Teachers tried to stop the disruption with threats of punishment, but the girls kept laughing. Sometimes the girl would laugh for a matter of hours, but sometimes they laugh for a matter of days. What the fuck, nonstop or what?
That I don't know. That's crazy.
Soon, almost 100 students in the school were laughing, and the behavior then spread to nearby villages. Parents panicked and withdrew their daughters from the schools until the situation ended. Some experts theorize that the hidden physical or mental changes of puberty may cause mass hysteria among teens.
That's
That's
crazy.
insane, though.
How does
Like,
that happen to the whole village though? Like, I get it, like okay, three, well, maybe they were in on it,
yeah,
but the whole village, that's weird. That's kind of crazy. Imagine.
the whole village.
Yeah, that's what it says there.
That's insane. But
It says
I
almost
like
100 students.
I want to know whether it was like nonstop. Was it nonstop
Well,
or?
I'm guessing yes, because if the teacher had to tell them to be quiet, if not, they would, get in trouble and they wouldn't stop. I would think it was something that was happening. Like- That's crazy.
Wow.
Imagine that
Damn.
that's happened to me when like I've been stoned, and it's like I
Remember?
just
Oh my
start
God,
laughing.
Crystal.
What?
I remember that time we smoked together and we couldn't stop laughing in our. Well, that happens to us even when we're not like.
And we
Well,
were dying.
even when we were not smoking, because we only smoked a few times together.
Yeah.
And that's because I'm not a smoker. I'm not a pot smoker because it gives me more anxiety, I feel, you know? And then I have,
Yeah.
yes, I've been there. I have people telling me it's because you're not smoking the right wine. You need to smoke this or you need to smoke more
No,
regularly, blah, blah, blah. I know, but I'm not even like, that's not
you
even,
I feel like you gotta get
I
used to
don't
it
want to get into
because
that. I remember when we would smoke and we would just nonstop like laugh.
laugh, dude, like
And
dying
my
laugh.
stomach was hurting.
It would
Like, it was
happen.
in pain. It still happens, like, when we just are
Mm-hmm.
laughing and we're just like, we can't stop and it
We
hurts,
can't
you
breathe.
know? So
Yeah, I feel like I'm working
imagine
out.
them
That would
and
be crazy. How can you not enjoy that though? I like enjoy that a whole month laughing without stopping.
oh, that would
Yeah.
hurt my head.
You end up with a six pack and shit that fucking
Right?
built.
You live like a longer, healthier life because
You
laughter
just
is
laughed a whole
health.
month straight. Yeah.
Because they say laughter is the best medicine.
Isn't it?
So it's like,
I,
wouldn't you want that? You
like
like
maybe
live
just for a
longer
little
than
while.
everyone else and shit because you laughed for so long.
It feels good sometimes.
I think, yeah. I feel like I
You feel
always
better
laugh
after a
every
good laugh.
day. I should you not like I feel like every day I laugh.
Me too.
There's people who don't. And I'm like, how the fuck do
Like
you not
just a
laugh?
little bit.
Or
Just
even
that
like
little bit of
at
laughter.
even like the negative shit that happens. It's just funny.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes
You
I
just have
laugh at
to
stupid shit.
find the funny part of it, you know?
Or just be like, fuck it, it happened, and just make it into
And
something,
I'm saying like fucked up shit that happens to me, like I'll laugh at it, you know?
I've done that
Because there's
too.
nothing else to do.
Even
I
if
have
you're
no
like just laughing
control.
crazy.
Right? Oh, this is the one that I was talking about with the
In
Goro.
Singapore.
Yeah, it's just a little bit more on it.
So notoriously in Singapore in 1967, hundreds of men became convinced that eating pork meat taken from a series of vaccinated pigs would lead to penis shrinkage or disappearance and potentially death. This penis panic or coro required a concentrated effort from the country's
A
government to
concerted.
a concerted effort from the country's government to educate the male population about their genital organs to convince them that their conviction was not and could not be true. There are many examples of mass hysteria. Some of them are somewhat okay. That's something else. Never mind. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Like it's weird for me to believe that men think it's shrinking. Maybe it's already just small. Just plain. Yeah, that's fucked up. Like maybe it
How
was already small and they didn't. The more
they're
they looked
just
at it, the
blaming it.
smaller it
They're just
got
blaming
it.
it. They're like,
They're just yeah.
I need a fucking
Like it
excuse
was
to
bigger. I
excuse this.
swear. I swear it was bigger. It shrunk on me. Just played.
It's shrinkage. It's shrinkage.
Oh, it's not hysteria, by the way. Disturbia.
It is Disturbia. What the fuck
It
was that?
is. I don't know. I just found it. I was like, I want to hear it now.
Disturbia. And we were like, hysteria.
Hysteria.
Oh god, we're done. Hey, F and adulting.
There you go. It's Disturbia.
Disturbia, and we're like
No wonder I couldn't
hysteria.
find it. I was like hysteria, looking for it
Can
and
you find
nothing.
hysteria by fucking what's her name?
Brianna.
Rihanna.
It gave me something
Hey
else. I was like,
Siri, can you find hysteria by Rihanna? Rihanna?
this
And
bitch doesn't know
then
what she's doing.
and then she was like, I'm sorry. I don't know what you're trying to tell me.
Are you talking
You
about
mean
Disturbia?
Disturbia? And I'm like, yes, I'm only recording this on F and Adulting.
Thanks for embarrassing me, Siri.
Thanks for embarrassing me. Goodbye.
Aye, aye.
In autumn 2001, children in elementary and middle schools across the United States experienced a strange symptom. Their skin would break out in rashes, but only while they were in school. How
Mhm.
convenient.
Uh-huh.
At home, their symptoms would promptly disappear. In the media, this phenomenon was linked to the impact of the tragic events of September 11, and the children's symptoms were taken as a mass psychosomatic reaction to the feelings associated with trauma that permeated the US at the time. Oh
That's
wow, you think
crazy.
so? Well,
I
yeah,
don't know.
I feel like being stressed or like being that like trauma can just like it could appear in so many other forms, you know?
That's true. It could.
So I guess them not dealing with it or not going to counseling to especially
She
when you're small, you don't understand a lot, you know, but you know that it's bad,
something
something bad
bad.
happened.
Yeah.
So if you're not going to counseling or getting that
Help that you
medical
need.
help
Just
to kind of like get through it or like to understand and know how to process this information, the body's gonna react a certain way
In a
to
weird
know
way,
that there's
yeah.
something wrong, you know?
That's
I
true.
feel, I don't know. I'm not a medical
But that could
professional.
happen, you know what I mean? I'm totally get what you mean, you know? It's just
The body is such a
sensitive.
magical
I sensitive.
it's such a magical thing, you know, like because it'll alert you to something that's wrong. You know, it's just that we don't pay attention to it. And
That's true.
apparently I mean, they were, having trauma, or it could just be something that's very unexplained.
Weird in school, maybe because it just
Yeah.
happened obviously in school. That's weird. That would be my first red flag. Like, why in school only?
Hmm. Why in
Do you not want to
school?
go to school?
Are they
Aye,
bullying you?
who do I have to go beat?
Right?
Just played.
Can you read number
Let's
5?
see. So then, more recently, May 2006, teenagers in Portugal started to present to the hospital with dizziness, rashes, and breathing difficulties.
Mhm.
After the doctors could find no physical cause for these symptoms, some investigative work found an intriguing parallel. These were the same symptoms that were experienced by a character in a popular soap opera for young people, Strawberries with Sugar. Morangos come occur in Portuguese.
Morangos
Morangos
com
come
azúcar.
azúcar. Isn't
Azúcar.
así
Well,
azúcar?
it's Portuguese, so
Pues
I
yo
don't
no
know
sé
how.
leer portugués.
Yeah.
Experts concluded that the teens who first reported their illness had contracted the symptoms from the fictional character and then influenced other teenagers to believe that they had the same illness. This is why the phenomenon came to be known as the strawberries with sugar virus.
That's
Isn't that
crazy, right?
crazy? That is
I like
crazy.
watching this series and then they're like, "Oh, I think I have that too."
I have
I
rashes.
think
Oh my
that happened
God.
to me watching Grey's
I
Anatomy
can't
and shit.
breathe. Imagine.
Dude, Grey's
Fuck.
Anatomy fucked me over.
You'd
Like,
have a lot
I'm
of
like
shit.
looking at all these things and they're like, "What? What? Oh yeah, I have all those symptoms."
Oh shit, I have that. Okay, that's
And then you go with
crazy.
your doctor and be like, can you test me for this and this and that? Well, Grey's
I
Anatomy.
saw it.
In Grey's
Yeah.
Anatomy, they
It says
tested the
they have
guy
it.
and then it came out as positive or
Positive,
whatever.
so
Can you do that for me, please?
damn.
They're
I
like,
don't
ma'am,
know. They
this is not
probably
Grey's Anatomy.
ma'am, you
Yeah.
need to get your
Well,
head
if
out
I
of the
was in
gutter.
Grey's Anatomy,
Yeah, I would have had that.
I
Okay.
they would have taken care of me better.
They're better doctors, obviously. Look around here, I don't see any.
I don't see any cameras around here, so obviously
Are the
they
cameras
are.
following me or not? Okay.
And that's another hysteria is
Hysteria.
going crazy.
That's
We're
crazy.
both
Fuck.
crazy.
Crazy.
We're crazy.
Just a little bit.
Okay, so mass hysteria does not always involve some sort of violence. Mumbai experienced their own hysteria epidemic involving their regular water supply. In 2006, many people living in the area near the Mahim Creek described the normal salt water as tasting especially sweet, as if someone had doctored it with sugar or syrup. It seemed impossible to authorities as the creek was regularly used as a depository for raw sewage and industrial waste. Wow.
Oh, God.
The belief in the altered water spread to other populations living near other toxic waterways. People began drinking the bad water, much to the concern of local medical professionals who attempted to stop the consumption. Indeed, there was a real possibility of a disease spreading throughout the area. Mysteriously, the following day, the populace found the water to be as foul and salty as they had been before this brief spell of suspended belief.
Crazy. Like sweet.
That's disgusting.
That
To think
is.
about it, it was like wastewater
That's
and
disgusting.
toxic. and like
Ugh.
industrial waste, and then people were drinking
Why
it
do
like,
you imagine it
it's
was
so
sweet?
sweet. It's. I feel bad for the people that were drinking it because imagine what was going on in their bodies, dude.
Dude, ugh.
They were building some good antibodies.
Dude, those are the people that were immune to anything right now. Like,
Mhm.
I
For
bet you if you throw
real.
a man with some COVID and shit, that shit ain't got nothing.
They're like, what?
What? They start laughing.
Mhm.
Hysteria laughing. Ay, ay. Just
Right?
playing. Like, bitch, you ain't gonna do shit
Like, this is
to this body.
nothing. I don't have industrial waste in me. What are you talking
Like,
about?
what are you talking about? You ain't gonna do shit to me.
Talk to us about
So,
the
in the
London
late
Monster
1700s, there was a series of attacks on women in London. Newspaper
in
termed
London.
London. I don't know how to say London.
Yeah.
Newspapers termed the perpetrator the London monster. Okay, an 18th century stalker, the offender approached wealthy women from behind, slashed their clothing, and stabbed their buttocks. Isn't that crazy? Why their butt? To protect themselves, women wore copper petticoats or placed copper pots and pans under their dresses. The London monster attacks continued off and on for 2 years, but the police started to suspect that there was something strange going on. Descriptions of the monster varied greatly from attack to attack. Some even added the bizarre details of knives attached to his knees. After 2 years, the attack stopped, and although there was an arrest, historians now wonder if women weren't cutting their own clothes and convincing themselves that the monster had harmed them. Centuries later, the similar incident occurred in Halifax, England. On November 16, 1938, two women reported that a stranger with a mallet attacked them. In the next few weeks, more women and several men reported similar attacks, but with different weapons. Such varying reports frustrated the police. Eventually, one of the victims confessed he had inflicted the wounds on himself. There were a few similar confessions, but many victims insisted that a strange man attacked them. This, however, did not convince the police, so they closed the investigation.
That's weird.
Well, why would anybody stab their own butt? Like, it doesn't make sense. Oh, let me rip my clothes from the back and stab
And
my own
how
ass.
uncomfortable would it be wearing upper pads and pants under your dress to cover your butt?
Like, how big were these? Imagine they go try and stab you. Cling!
Cling, cling.
Haha.
Oh my
I had a
god.
fucking pan back there.
And
That's
what happened to the
crazy.
people that were wearing whoever was wearing buttless traps, they were just asking for it.
For real? Hey, where are you?
Hey.
I'm
Yeah.
here. That's crazy. Like, how the fuck
Wow. Imagine now he would go crazy. Because it's like everybody wants a big ass now. And everybody has a
be
big ass. And
stabbing?
it's like he'd be
Yeah.
crazy. He'd be in heaven.
For that crazy ass.
A Louisiana high school senior named Helen attended her school's homecoming dance, which followed the traditional homecoming game. The dance began normally, but at some point during the evening, Helen's right leg began to spasm for no apparent reason. The episode continued for the entirety of the dance and didn't stop the next day. Eventually, other students began suffering from the same symptom, and students manifested leg twitching of a similar nature. Is it what I'm doing right now? Because I usually do
No,
like I'll
that's
be
not a
singing
spasm.
sometimes.
That's just something that yours is like a nervous tick.
Yeah, right?
Spasm is like yeah,
Like
you
when
have
you're like, oh,
anxiety.
like when
Like
you're
that shit's just doing it
like
on
a
its own.
twitch or something, no? Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I get you. Nobody could understand the cause of the situation. Some parents went so far as to keep their children at home for fear of them catching whatever it was that was making these teens twitch. The strange physical symptoms continued for some time, but as in many cases of mass hysteria, The behavior stopped on its own. The trigger for the abnormal episodes remains a mystery.
That's
That's
crazy.
just like I just don't get it. You know how I was telling you? I don't know if we mentioned this or I put it on the episode on one of our mindfuck Mondays because obviously if you're listening to us, we do these every month. So we
Yeah.
do have
One
previous
a month.
mindfuck Mondays. So in one of our mindfuck Mondays, I don't know why it can never
Mount fuck.
mindfuck. Or in one of them, I mentioned that this family, all of a sudden, like they were just like this normal family. I think it was like the dad, the mom, and like 3 or 4 siblings. And they were
Hmm.
old. They were like in their 20s, teens or whatever. And they just out of the blue left their home. They started driving, and they were like in a panic mode.
What?
Remember, I think I had told
I
you.
don't think
No, yes, I
so.
remember telling you. They were driving and they were in a panic mode and they had a gun and like they were just like driving and then all of a sudden I guess they like woke up from their
From whatever.
hysteria thing you know, and each individual just started going on their own way. And then they eventually met up at their house miles away. They eventually end up like individually getting to their home and cops were called and
I don't remember.
nobody knew what had happened, but apparently they had suffered something like
Like in a
when you're
panic
like a very
attack.
close knit family, sometimes you guys can like
Pass
share
each other the same.
share like this hysteria type of thing, like where they all go crazy at the same time and they just kind of go along with the individual next to them.
That's crazy though.
And it's insane. It's just there are insane cases where also another one where this lady um got this idea that the mafia was after them and they wanted to kill her. And
Well, maybe
they
she got everybody paranoid. You know what I mean?
yeah, like a paranoia kind of thing.
Like
So
it's like if I were to show up at your house and tell you, hey, Lorena, you know what? I
they're
think the
following
mafia is
me.
after
They're
me. They're
following me,
following me,
dude.
dude. Let's get the fuck out. They saw that I stopped here. You'd probably be like, oh shit, who the fuck did you bring over here?
Yeah, so like this other one, the one I'm telling you, this other story with the lady that thought the mafia was after her and after her family, like she had her daughter like like they moved around a lot, you
That's
know, because she
crazy.
always said that they were always following her, and then eventually, like I mentioned this, I think in one, I'll put it on
No,
the thing if I remember.
you
Um,
didn't because I would have remembered. I remember all her
oh my
stories.
goodness, Crystal, I am gonna show you.
And if not, what?
If not, then I'm gonna whip myself.
I want to see it. I want you to record it on the
um,
next episode and see you whipping yourself.
it turned out eventually that it was nothing. It was fucking her. Just they were both feeding off
Me,
of each other's panic and like
yeah, and they were just feeding it.
paranoia. Feeding off of each other's thing. And this had been going on for such a long time, and she was just a crazy lady.
That's intense.
In medieval France, for example, a nun suddenly began meowing as if she were a cat. Instead of the other sisters trying to stop her from her strange behavior, they started meowing too.
Oh my god.
Neighbors were at first puzzled, but then the noise started getting far into the night. The locals sought help from the nearby military. The
God.
soldiers were able to stop the puzzling behavior with threats of physical punishment. Similarly, in Germany, a solitary nun began biting her religious sisters for no apparent reason.
What the
The other nuns explicably began to bite other people too. This epidemic spread to the neighborhood nunneries and even into neighboring countries. Eventually, the episode ended as mysteriously as it began. What the
It's
hell?
crazy. Imagine, dude, like all night. That shit would freak the
That'd
fuck
be
out of me.
creepy.
That shit would
Ooh.
freak the fuck out of me,
And
honestly.
especially
Like,
coming from a nun.
yeah, especially like you would think some shit's possessing her or something. That's what I would think right away.
I
I would
don't know. I
assume.
feel like I don't know. It would be so creepy.
Imagine,
Like
dude, like you're in the middle of the night, you're sleeping very, very, very good, and you're just there, and then all of a sudden you just hear,
oh
like,
my
oh wait,
goodness. And then they're
you're
fighting
like,
or they're
fuck.
or they're in heat
They're both like that on their back.
or like when they're in heat and they're like they sound like horrible.
Dude, I've heard them like, yeah,
They
one time
sound
I used
like
to live in the Columbia apartments, remember? And there was cats everywhere out there. And one time I was like sleeping, and that's the first thing I woke up to, which is why I said it's really freaky and creepy. And I heard it, dude. It was like, like loud. I was like, what? And I started at a point thinking that it was a baby crying because it sounded so
oh my
intense, dude.
goodness.
And I was like, I don't want to look out the window. Oh my God.
Ah,
And I finally did it, dude. I looked out the window and it was two cats having sex. I was like, ¡Háganse la verga, culeros! ¡Me asustaron, estúpidos! Yeah.
in a room.
I was like, I charged $100 to come in. Yeah.
Así
But
es
yeah,
tu
it was
casa.
creepy.
Eres una perdida. Perdida, perdida.
And finally, Lorena, finally, the most fresh instance of alleged mass hysteria took place as recently as 2012. Oh shit. When teenage girls from a small town of Leroy, New York started exhibit symptoms similar to those seen in Tourette syndrome, such as uncontrollable jerks of the limbs and verbal outbreaks. Though the doctors were unable to find a clear cause of them, the epidemic started when a girl posted a video of herself on YouTube in which she documented an episode of such symptoms. Until recently, this girl had shown no signs of Tourette's. The video went viral, and many more teenage girls started to display the same symptom. A teenage boy and a 36-year-old woman were also infected. When the woman explained that she started having these symptoms after she learned of the girl's story on Facebook, this led to speculation about social media's potential role in advancing mass hysteria in the present day. Which for this, I think
Wow.
like maybe
They're just wanting
they just want people, yeah, attention, people to like see their video and maybe create some kind of.
insane. So is mass hysteria an epidemic of the mind leading to symptoms in the body which is spread via social contact? This question is still under debate, but it is so the advent of social media is a likely vehicle for the spread of such viruses.
I think so.
Wow.
People
Yeah, it
just wanting
is, dude.
attention,
Because
I
people just
guess.
want attention. Like they don't,
I don't,
they just they see something that works and it's getting
and they're
attention.
like,
Fuck it,
let's
I'm
do
gonna
it.
do it too. You know.
Yeah. Like sometimes I
Mm.
think that girl with the gorilla glue, like the whole thing, like I
Oh
think
my goodness! How did she?
maybe
I
she's,
mean,
dude, I don't know. She's
but who
either I don't
does
think
that to
she's,
themselves? Do you
that's
have
what I'm
gorilla glue on
saying.
you?
That's what I'm saying. Like
You have
maybe that,
gorilla glue on you.
dude, yeah, I use it for my eyebrows and my eyelashes.
Get some gorilla
No,
glue.
like I think she probably just started this whole thing as a getting attention and then obviously fucked up. And that's what I'm thinking it is. But
Like that lady, the lady who kept her daughter sick so she can get
dude,
attention.
that actually happened for real, didn't it?
Mhm.
Like they make like a whole show about that or
They
something like
did.
that? Or a movie, I think.
Called Munchausen syndrome by proxy. It's a mental illness. It's
That's weird.
vexatious.
Munchausen by proxy
Yeah.
is a band in in that movie, Yes Man.
Munchausen syndrome by proxy is a mental illness and a form of child abuse. The caretaker of a
What?
child, most often a mother, either makes up fake symptoms or causes real symptoms to make it look like a child is sick. Put their child in like risk, like they'll
Just
fucking
so they could.
just so they can get attention and get like people pitying them, like, "Oh, I'm sorry for what what you're
What you're
going
going
through."
through
They
and
just want that attention. That really much concludes our
episodes for
episode
today.
on hysteria. And it's crazy because they do talk about like energy, like we all feed off of each other's
Each
energy.
other's energy, yeah.
Don't forget to follow us on all our social media,
All
Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. We actually leave clips on TikTok
Google,
everywhere.
you name it, we're on there.
Yeah, so don't forget to follow us, leave a comment. Don't forget to rate and
Subscribe.
review.
Pow, pow, pow.
Rate and review our podcast. That helps us out a lot. With that said, I hope you guys have an awesome day. Bye.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Time to be alive, start a podcast, become a DJ, try and fill the void inside. I'd be lying if I didn't say that sounds nice. Wake up, check your phone, but the batteries die.